YouTube channel starts down again, y'all. From the Go Hard or Go Home channel. All right, today I'm gonna be talking about a comment I got from one of my viewers. I think his name is Jaron, the man. I'm gonna call him J Man from now on, y'all. Just make sure I'm not messing up his dude's name. But he said I should do a video on SMV, and that would be pretty interesting. And I decided to do one today. So what I'm gonna do, and so I'm gonna put up the hypergamy chart here. I'm gonna talk a little bit about sexual market value. All right. So, y'all don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share, especially if y'all like this video. And at the end of it, hit the like, subscribe, share if you haven't done it so far. But, all right, the thing about sexual market value is, I think a lot of people have a misconception about where they fit in to certain groups. Okay. Not really a misconception amongst people, but just a lot of people don't want to, I guess, admit to themselves where they're at. Okay. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk a little bit about the bottom half of this. Okay. Down here at the bottom on the both sides of this chart, male and female side, you see they have a bottom like 40%. Okay. These are your everyday average people. Okay. But it ranges on both sides through different levels. Okay. Some people got certain jobs, so it puts them at a higher level than another person. Some people on the female side got certain looks, so it puts them at a higher level than another female. Okay, so even at that bottom side, you have like advantages and disadvantages. Okay, but the thing with the bottom is it's an area where you can kind of get trapped if you're not really thinking about it. Okay, a lot of guys got to start understanding, like with this chart right here. And I got this chart from a university. They did a study on hypergamy, and they came up with this chart. Okay, so I use this chart to explain certain things. But one I want to use to explain today is at the very bottom, the guys have very low chances with women at the very bottom. And I try to make videos and talk about that a lot because guys that don't have to really be at the bottom, they could climb a little bit higher based on financial things. But I don't think that is a good idea for anybody to take chances with people that are at the bottom also. Well, especially with the chart showing you here that the ones at the bottom are still going to go up. Okay. So if a guy wants to raise his sexual market value, right, regardless of what stage he's in, especially if he's here at the bottom, if he wants to raise his sexual market value, he needs to increase his finances and his resources. Because on this blue side over here, this blue side, that's what's getting looked at. A lot of guys keep talking about looks. But let me tell you what this right here. And this chart explains it. Let me tell you what's good about the female side though. Also, on the guy's side, if he wants to increase, he needs finances and resources. On the woman's side, if she wants to increase, she just needs to be like, very feminine. Like they keep talking about it and all the things. She just needs to look good. Pretty much that's it. She needs to look good and have a good attitude, not be an asshole. That's pretty much it. Okay? But that could take work too. People don't understand that. Here we go though. Okay. I was talking about this thing at the bottom. Okay. See right here with this get sex, no commitment thing? That's based off the looks thing that the guys were talking about. A lot of guys keep talking to me about looks. And I understand that. I understand that sometimes it goes past this and everything like that. But I'm showing you with this chart why it's that way. It's based on the sexual market value of things also. Okay. This person with the looks got a certain sexual market value to these people right here. Okay. Well, that this is also going out the resources because you see it's going up from the bottom. Okay, right here it shows it a little bit better because once women get money, they're doing it for looks. Then, so mostly at the top, that's the issue. It shouldn't really be the issue at the bottom. It shouldn't be. Now, I guess it is for some people, but we're gonna talk a little bit about that too. Okay, so down here in the bottom, sexual market value can work in some different ways. Okay, um, this is where you get to the point where they tell people about like a certain person going to make a median of this or $45,000 or $50,000 for life, and they're not going to have this, and not going to have this, and most of that stuff be the truth. Okay, now this person could also try to get a better job, or they could get a side job or something that would boost up stuff like that, but the base level thing I'm trying to get across to people is that for guys to raise their guys can raise their sexual market value very easily. They might have to become more leaders. We're gonna get to that a little bit in a minute here too, because that's one of the things that you can trade for it. Okay, that's part of sexual market value for men too. Leadership ability. See, when you don't move up the ladder at work, people know that you don't have it automatically. They know that you don't. It doesn't just lower your sexual market value to women. It Kevin Samuels is always talking about being a high value man, and to be the high value man, you had to have value to the other men in the group. Now, the guy that does the work, he has value to the other guys in the group. He does. Trust me. But the thing is though, that stuff still works out to a point of like, okay, dude, you this old and you ain't trying to do nothing else. It happens that way. At some point in time, a man should want to be the leader. This plays into their sexual market value too. That's why a lot of guys don't understand why women turn down blue collar workers a lot. Because a lot of times blue collar worker guys don't try to move past being that. A lot of them make a lot of money, and they make enough money to where they could probably the thing they're doing they could open a company and have other people to do it and supervise that and make the money. They have the potential to do that. They just will not in most cases. So that plays into the sexual market value too, because you're not just showing it to women, you're showing it to men. Men when you're that 40-something-year-old guy out there on the floor with that 30-year-old floor supervisor pushing you around, you showing something to that man. You're showing something to him. You're showing something to the other men by doing that. It lowers your sexual market value to women also. Because if the guys see that, the women definitely do. That's why they keep talking about potential all the time. You hear the women talking about potential. That's what I was just talking about. They know they have the potential to do it. They do. Every time you was listening to women talking about this stuff, they would say they'll take a man with potential. But they probably would. But the thing is, most of these guys will never go that way, so it stays at the bottom down here. Where they got low chances even with the ones at the bottom, because the ones at the bottom are presenting themselves as the ones at the top. They get sex with no commitment. Now this is what we're gonna talk about women's sexual value for a second. Okay. The woman's SMV. Okay. The ones at the bottom pretty much always have a low SMV. You know that's why a lot of women don't understand when guys get money and they meet women at certain levels of life, they come at them certain type of ways. I'm not really that kind of person, but I've seen it happen, and I know guys that are like that, but they don't they see those women that's lower level, like how this chart is showing. Okay, so a lot of women think that because they can get the sex that I don't know how they're figuring that is like okay. I would think that since they're probably not going to get the chance of being the high level wife from the guys at the bottom, and they're kind of too far at the bottom for the guys at the top, that they go ahead and take the okay, well at least they'll what I'm saying, smash whoever, maybe get a baby from them, get some way to have some kind of connection to something that they feel is like resources. Could be that. But I do know this right here. They're not high on the market for guys at the top. And even watching the Kevin Samuels show showed you several times he kept telling them that, kept telling them that, kept telling them that. But as you can see from the chart, they still want that. You look at the chart here, you can see, and even if I move myself here, I'll move myself over here so you see the words. Minimize myself some more. There we go. Women seeking higher status men is happening at the top, it's happening at the bottom. If you get to the top level, they going down still, but the women getting sex with no commitment. See, anytime the guy's going down, it's probably going to wind up being that. All right, so that's something that women got to understand. All right, they want to be that way, but that's what I'm saying. That's why guys keep looking at some guys that get money and stuff. They feel like those guys have such a high. They call it a high value man, but really it's not. It's just his sexual market value is high because he has a lot of resources. So when women see that, they go after it. So it becomes active competition. That's why this guy can have more girlfriends than you, openly. So you gotta understand that too. For women, on the other side of the bottom, you see them shooting up at the top, and they're getting sex, no commitment, but some of them still count those relationships and stuff like that, which that still kind of lowers that lowers their sexual market value. They don't understand that it does, but it does. I mean, like all that taking sex and no commitment, it does it lowers the sexual market value, but it's something I go over another video because I guess they really don't care because this chart is showing you that it's happening. And when I was watching the things like the Kevin Samuels show, like all them times those women have been in all those relationships, and that's a lot of sex with not like no real commitment. But I don't think they're really thinking about that. So I'm just going with the lesson on it because I ain't gonna try to get into what they think. So a woman's sexual value is based on her looks, attitude, and then of course you got things like body count. Okay, because that matters to a lot of guys, okay? Especially the ones that they want to start families with. It's gonna matter to him. It's gonna matter to him. That's what they kind of miss with that one too. So they need to look good. They need to have a good attitude. And if they want a guy they want to definitely start a family with and try to stay with that, they need to have a low body count. The problem with that is that here at the bottom, it doesn't really happen because I think they think that they're actually competing right here, and they're not because the social economic level of them is too low. That's another thing I want to talk about in this video right here. See, people don't understand that that's really playing a lot into the sexual market value thing. These guys that got this money and stuff, and that's why like Kevin Samuels, he kept asking this women, why would these guys want to be with you? These women don't even understand the money that they want to go towards. They really don't even understand it. When I say it on the level, I mean like it's a difference between going to work every day and getting your money doing business. I done did both of them. And it's a very big difference between them. Very big. And it's a lot of mentality and stuff that goes into that too. But those women at the bottom, they're gonna have that. Now here's the trick to that though. They still got a trump card because it doesn't really matter what the woman has. That's the thing about this thing. If the woman keeps her sexual market value very well, and she's a good looking woman, she can rise to the top of all that easily. Okay. A woman raises her sexual market value by having less mates. That's how she does it. She may have had, you know what I'm saying, you meet this woman in the early 20s and she may have had one or two other boyfriends. And you, some 20, like 20, y'all might get together, it might work out. But their market value is related to attitude, how they look, and body count. As for guys, though, it's finances and resources. Okay, so this is part one of this because we really just talked about the bottom today, and coming from the bottom. But the sexual market value of any man or woman is going to be based on those things we just got done talking about. For women, it's going to be those three things: attitude, how she looks, body count. For guys, it's going to be finances and resources. Uh, Depending on the questions I get back from this one, we'll talk about it more in the next one. Because a lot of guys talk about what about looks, and I know it's coming because I know it's coming, so I'm trying to answer it now. Looks plays into this very much so at the bottom. Let me do that. Let me answer this question because it's coming. Guys are going to go tell me about looks. It plays very well so into the bottom because the deal is the people at the bottom already understand they're not going to have nothing in life. When I say nothing, I mean like it's not going to be nothing, but they're going to be living. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to be surviving. They're going to survive. They're going to make it. And they might have a good survival, but there's a difference between surviving and living. But the people at the bottom kind of already accept that. That's a social economic thing. That's why both sides stay away from the bottom. That's why the women, that's why I keep telling the guys that the looks thing, it plays more into this right here. Since they can't have that, they may as well get the looks kind of like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? They go for it right here and they think they're gonna get a little bit of money and a good looking guy, and they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But you have to kind of get that too when you're talking about that. The guys that keep talking about looks all the time. Okay, it's really it's important at the very bottom. It is because these people have already pretty much accepted a certain way of life. But this has been a lesson on SMV number one. Okay, in the next video about SMV, we're gonna talk about like how coming from the top to the bottom plays into it. Okay, you know that's when the guys from across town come to the hood club in their suits and junk or something like that, and or you in a regular club and some football player come in there and something like that. You know, just stuff like that. And how that plays into it. Cause that's different sexual market value also. Y'all hit like, subscribe, share, drop the comments, let me know what y'all thought about this video and anything more I can add to this, y'all let me know. So we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna do this. This is our experiment. Y'all hit like, subscribe, share, join the journey. It's been Taurus Downey, y'all. Go hard, go home channel. Peace.